playing trajectory is very much complementing this phase 1 circle. A lot of teams who are dropping out are already basically inside the circle, so should hopefully mean that we will see a bit more of a passive early game. The teams that are outside the circle will hopefully be able to rotate in pretty nicely. Of course, middle of the circle will be a bit of a priority, as we've seen time and time again from these teams. Hopefully they'll be able to get in pretty smoothly.
I mean, also, this is a circle that through PMC, at least for the European teams, and also on the past regional finals, this circle has came up so many times around the vicinity of Castle. These teams have potentially experienced, I don't know for like, CIS, Germany, or Turkey, but I know that the European teams, they have experience. They should, going into this game of VIKENDE, should be one of the teams, some of the teams that should potentially perform or rotate the most efficiently. This is an opportunity, I would say, for Red Reserve, which is a team that is known for being comfortable on a map such as, VIKENDE, to be able to get themselves a good performance, hoping they can, of course, pull it off. Also, UDR Killers, because UDR Killers, they had some up and downs on the map, but like overall, they know how to play around. Their strength is on a map such as VIKENDE, so I'm just hoping really this is going to be the one to work out for them.
And because most of the teams are already inside the circle and are already in compounds that are very well inside the circle, that kind of does, even though VIKENDE is very high in compounds, it does actually eliminate a lot of compounds available. Like when I'm looking around, like N1 are on a 2-2 split, which is really good. That eliminates a compound. Dream Eaters are on a 2-1-1 split as of right now. So they have kind of a couple of compounds out of play. Same with kind of 1-2-1-8. So in terms of locations from the north side, Mount Crescent is really the only viable option for one of the teams to really kind of call their home for now in this phase 1. And even on the west, there's not really much because you don't really want to go in or be around Dino Park for too long.
I really do like the fact that Dream Eaters took a lot of control on that western side, because seeing how these dropping locations happen during the scrims, also during yesterday's game, and also on the first attempt of the regional finals, is the fact that nobody really drops too heavily around Villa. So like, okay, well, we can just branch out, get all the loot, because Villa is is still some decent loot, but maybe not for an entire squad. For 2 members, sure. Any more than that, you might start being a little bit thin on your actual loot. So they just said, okay, you guys can branch out. We know nobody likes to drop around here. Get control, get also information by the time being, and then we just get back together after.
Exactly. Information, that is so key. And it's even similar for Heroes X. They landed in Cement Factory. That can be a little bit weak with loot. So they sent 2 players, Morteza and Solis, a little bit down the south west direction by the bridge. And they've been able to loot up a couple of other compounds. And that has meant that they're kind of going for 2-2 split. Now, with 1-2-1-8, who disengage away from Podvosto extremely early, which I absolutely love, means there's a higher chance they're not going to get caught out going through that bridge, and they're going to be able to get a better location inside the circle. Look at what they're doing. It's so good.
Happy Imperium noises. Oh, they moved away from Podvosto. I love it. But like, yeah, of course, like Podvosto on the edge of circle is not great to hold on to. You want to maybe aim for compounds also more central towards Castle. Makes sense.
It wasn't really the fact that they're moving away from Podvosto. It was more the fact that the time that they're moving away, that it was,
they get central.
It was very early, and that's what I like.
Yeah, because you see in Dream Eaters, they're rotating, but like the timing is spot on to the point of like maybe Dream Eaters are aiming for the compound of 1-2-1-8, and they might actually just gatekeep it. But I think they're going to stop to a compound that's on the cross section of that road. I don't think they're going to go really any further, and they will indeed not go any further. They're going to stop on a compound right next to Castle. As 1-2-1-8 going further down south, a bit more down south than actually what I thought of.
Yeah. Of course, rotating further for longer in the early parts of the game, when it's a situation like this, a higher chance you can get caught out. But because Heroes X and M1 are kind of fighting against each other, 1-2-1, have kind of generally been able to get to their compound on the side of the river relatively unscathed.
I mean, a fight on Castle. I think this is our first Castle fight. That was a pretty damn good molly. If that was a nade, a little bit more to the left, would have been spawned. But yeah, like first fight in Castle, I think we had the chance of casting yet. It would be interesting to see who will be taking it. Will it be number 1? Will it be Heroes X? I'm not too sure. But the entirety of Heroes X, Mortez and Solis, will be joining on through. And you talked about the fact that number 1 are doing a 2-2 split. They are not prepared for this fight.
Yeah, I do worry about them in this kind of situation. When I think of Castle, I think of this little poem of like, you're the king, who's the king of the castle, and you're a dirty rascal. I don't know why I said that, but that rhyme always kind of comes into my head when I think of Castle. So who's going to be the dirty rascal of Castle?
I think of the show Castle. Like that's the one I think about.
What? Takeshi's Castle?
No. There's a show that was called Castle, and it's like
Never heard of it.
like a detective slash police
Okay.
show. I loved it. It was so cool because the main protagonist, man, she was sexy.
Okay, dude, come on. Hey, put your baguette away, okay? Put your baguette away.
Oh, gee, believe. Okay, Imperium. I'm so sorry, but I only see you now. Don't worry.
Thank you. Yeah, you were making.
I didn't know you at the time.
It's okay. So Kudor did get knocked down, so that was nice by M1. And I would like to see the two other players of M1 now join in, respond well to that push by Heroes X, and join up as a 4-man team to try and close out that fight as much as possible. What these two teams have got to be aware of is that 1218 are across the river inside that compound, so the third party from a distance could definitely come into contention.
That could definitely be the case. I'm just scared that, basically Heroes X and number one are cancelling out each other from rotating away. If Heroes X leave, backstab by number one. If number one leave, backstab by Heroes X. So they're basically cancelling out each other and locking himself up in Castle. And if the circle shifts away, all these players are taking a really big gamble of getting taken out. And I think that here, rotating from Heroes X, going on to Castle was like a gamble that should have never been overtaken. As Unicorns of Love, gonna try and push towards Dream Eaters, but I'm a little bit scared because some teams are still up north. If a team tries to push on their vicinity, Unicorns of Love could get cornered up.
And Unicorns of Love, after having two fantastic games, they do not want to go early in this third game. They want to keep up their momentum. They have moved up from 13th to 5th overall. Incredible run of games as perched the man of the hour, the man of the 2 days. I would actually honestly call him the MVP of the regional finals at this stage. Looking for Meku inside that building.
Hey, we still got 4 more games. We'll see at the very end who is going to be the MVP after. Oh my god, that's a risky rotation. Lars is going to be instantly shut away. Nice shutdown for Meku. Getting that nice headshot. But yeah, I'm surprised it did that in the open. They had some rocks. They could have just rotated behind. A little bit risky. That's going to make them lose 1 member. At least it's not 2. They could have lost 2. That would have been really bad.
I was just going to say, losing only 1 player in that disengagement, it's not too bad in fairness. But now, as Solus is knocked down, we see the 4 members of M1 join together. Something I very much recommended for them to do, to overtake Castle. They do not want to give it over to Heroes X, and I think that has forced Heroes X to disengage in the majority way of Castle and just try and hold on by the skin of their teeth.
Just cuddling up over there, just waiting, hopefully, to just leave. Oh, they get scattered up by PRZ. He hits 1 bullet. And there's a little bit of 17 damage coming up. So it's still interesting to see how that Castle fight will be unfolding later on.
NGG rotating down from Winery. It's a tough position because you're out in the open and the real deal do have compound protection. Yes, there's a couple of trees. Yes, there's a couple of rocks, but it's really not going to be easy for NGG to disengage. And you got to think they have plenty of space behind them. Why don't they just throw out a couple of smokes, wrap back up the hill into Winery and look for a different way to rotate toward the center of the circle?
I'm surprised. I would love to see potentially the replay of that if we can, but why did Dust get next to that building when he saw the card? That means that compound was occupied. It was not worthwhile. He should have rotated really just widely around it. I'm a little bit surprised. There's only 1 member they do lose from that. At least they do get the information. It's compound is open. Frost will be getting that compound under control, but Victor and Novaz going to be also very spread, which is very surprising. I don't know what Novaz is doing over there, but he's going to be crashing into the compound of Unicorns of Love. Very messy on the rotation, I do have to say. Yeah,
really messy, to be honest. That's going to alert Unicorns of Love. They know exactly who is over there. Well, not exactly who, but they know there is a body in Tovar, and they will not want to give him too much space to get closer. Unicorns of Love, as Nomad, and Nomad is kind of pinched between Ghost Skilla and Dream Eaters.
Things could go pretty bad. Novaz, if he takes that kite, could instantly shut down head. Oh, their perks has the perfect angle. And that's why I have no idea why Novaz aimed to go into that compound. It's not going to work out. And you have no idea if a team is localized there. Frost had the perfect compound. He said, there's nobody here. We can overtake it. And yet Novaz went there. I think there's a big lack of communication. And I'm really sad because I know they can do it. It's just they're somewhat falling apart right now. Yeah.
Mentality and frustration, it's getting to them as a team. The emotions, everything, and just the focus isn't really there to be perfectly honest. I think part of that is because they are playing overall passive as a team, and it's like you said, it's not really how they naturally play. And when you're put out of your comfort zone like that, it can just build up and put a lot more pressure on how you play the game.
Yeah, I want to see the aggressive Red Reserve that we all know and love. That is definitely something that I think is missing out for them. Looks another team for Bliss. They're going to go for their rotation. You know what? The circle is somehow shifting in favor of Castle. Castle finish. I mean, I called it a few times. It never happened. I would like it to happen. It would be so fun, but like so bad for the players too, because it sucks to have a Castle finish.
Yeah, indeed. There is a couple of teams in around Volnovo and Hot Springs, UDR Killers and Cunning and Power. They always seem to kind of get pretty close to each other upon rotations. It's not the first time they've done a rodeo together in PUBG Mobile and fought against each other. So let's see how that does pay off. Unique have gotten a pretty nice position. They rotated from where they landed in Hot Springs as Football has taken a couple of shots.
Ooh, that was a little bit spicy. They got 3 members in one car. You know, could be a little bit risky. Nomad Gaming, they're not going to release that pressure. You know, for Bliss, it's not their first rodeo. They're going to keep on pushing forward and hopefully get themselves to a building. But this is going to be also as number one, potentially can deny some repositioning, can get a lot of angles because Castle, even though it's not a great position to reposition from, it's high ground. So much information is given from there.
By the way, I like that little jump by the member of M1 just to confirm that there's somebody in that location, which in this case is Dream Eaters. It's not much, but it's that little thing that really can make a difference because now they know that information. Now that they know there's a team in that compound ahead, they can avoid it. They can wrap around it. They can react in a lot better way as a team, and it's good stuff from M1.
I do definitely like it. Just a little bit more intel is never a bad thing. It's nothing as too much information in PUBG Mobile. And GG still on their mountains up, you know, not quite willing to push. I mean, I understand it. Definitely pushing downhill on a compound held by the real deal is never something you want to try and aim towards. Yeah.
Like, the fact that phase 2 kind of shifted more down south, that's kind of favoring NGG a little bit. It's giving them a bit more time to peak and not engage onto the real deal, but essentially not think too much about where they want to rotate to because they're still well inside the circle. But I still think that's a little bit tunnel vision. It's a little bit narrow-minded from NGG that they should think, okay, if we can't engage, let's just get the hell out of there. And it's what they're doing now, but I feel they should have done that like 3 minutes ago.
I definitely do agree on that point. But I just want to say also, we saw on the feed just a few seconds ago, Heroes X pop up. Cuter, I think, got himself a flush on a member of number one.
Okay.
You know what? They may be able to reverse the steam on that Castle engagement. But yeah, NGG, I do like the fact that they just left it completely. It's just not worthwhile. You want to try and find yourself a better position as the circle is slowly going to be shifting towards phase 3. Will my prayers be answered? Will it go towards Castle to see all these players cry and just rotate in fear towards that Castle position?
They'll be crying a river.
Because there's a river in the circle?
Yeah, and its name was... Okay. It's cool. It's cool. But it does shift down to southeast. I was honestly expecting to go towards Volnova Hot Springs. We've seen that kind of circle before. Castle is still in play, so let's not discount it, of course. But I do think
there's a chance.
Yeah, there's a much slimmer chance.
Also, number one, what they can do is actually go north of Castle. There's still like 2 bridges they could potentially rotate, especially the western bridge. I think that would be a valid option because now 1218, they're also applying the pressure. They want a piece of that Castle cake, but they won't be resulting in too much. And if number one are able to rotate way up north, that would release the pressure of Heroes X and they could potentially rotate. But their car is now fuming. They are, I believe, going to have to cross through the water and swim through because taking that car through the bridge is never going to work out with 1218 applying so much pressure.
Honestly, they would be better off just kind of trying to hold on and hold out and hope they don't get spotted. But you got to wonder that all it's going to take is a couple of grenades and we could see the end of Heroes X.
Yeah, but Cuter is down there, picked up by the nade of holes.
Now go for the push. Have PRZ on top of that kind of castle tower and pushing back 1218 and allow the other 2 members of N1 to engage and confirm that squad wipe on the Heroes X. Take those bodies away. Take that variable away and put it more in your control to disengage away from Castle.
I would personally wouldn't push that because they got a few shots taken at them by 1218. I would say it's a little bit like, you know, risky to commit. And he already got the nade. It was behind a wall. It's not going to get stolen by 1218. I think they can just potentially leave it somehow bleed out if it doesn't get res back up, which might happen too. But it's definitely depending on like their play stuff. They want to go aggressive or passive. That's definitely
fair.
in their hands.
Okay, so NGG did disengage away from the real deal, and they are wrapping around Winery. But what I worry about is Footballers is also heading in that direction as well. And that's where NGG, if they hadn't disengaged 4 or 5 minutes ago, they could avoid a potential engagement with Footballers right now as Buju gets knocked down by Rip with his G36.
And some nice few shots trying to come out there, not quite able to put to work out. But Footballers now pushing upon NGG. I'm just a little bit scared because if a team tries to rotate and ramp around Winery, things could get pretty sweaty for them. Luckily enough, nobody's going to do it, but at this point, you just never know how teams are going to rotate on a map of VIKENDE. But one nade, that is the one way to counter these kind of positionings of teams that try to breach upon compounds of VIKENDE behind the walls. Nades and mollies are the better way to do it.
True, plus you do have Forever kind of wrapping around to maybe find an angle, and indeed he does, although he is attaching onto Lutz. Ron claps back, knocks down Cupid, they trade, knocks attach. He's also very low on health.
Andov isn't going to go and help up Lutz. He wants to go for the res. Forever, you know what, didn't go too far for that split. I think could have continued wrapping around. I think it would have been really useful knowing how much pressure they applied on Footballist. But now they've got at least 2 members making it through in the first building. Now they can actually just go in there and rest, have a little bit more time on their hands. But NGG still got cards. I would say, if I were NGG personally, I would not take a fight. You know, in the kill feed is Footballist. You know how aggressive they are, and NGG is not the team that like goes all out in their aggressive play. So I would say just get into the cars and rotate away, which is seeming like they are going to do that. And I think that's like the best course of action for them.
Yeah, both teams are kind of respecting each other. Of course, that knockdown on the Footballist did give NGG a bit more time to disengage. And now as you see the next phase exposing itself, it shifts up north. Maxman's a happy boy right now. It does shift towards Castle, and a lot of Volnova is in play. And you know what's really important about holding on to Volnova? Even though I don't agree with staying in there, but if you're going to stay in there, get on top of the roof.
Rooftops on meta.
Yeah, you gotta hold on to those roof plays. Gives you much higher ground. You're able to scope in and push teams back.
Yeah, like it would definitely be the better way to play around it. I would say just go on the outskirts of Volnova, go up north or over on the western side would be the better position. Like they didn't get really pressured too heavily, and you can easily rotate away. As Beast, oh boy, that was a close call, able to heal back up though. But Tixie, that's a risky move, and I think we can all say that I'm not expecting that to go too well for Tixie. He's good in the open. Forever potentially has an angle on him too. He's going to get shut down. And Tixie, that risky play is actually worthwhile. If I say that, Swiftly Beast will be coming out of the shadows and picking up that one knockdown on Tixie. He wants to go for the flush, but he knows that now he took those shots. He's given his position away. He can't commit any Thursday. He can't shut down Tixie just yet.
I know NGG were kind of rotating before that circle was exposed, but I kind of feel like Canina Power should have been a little bit more prepared as a team for a team going into Volnova, wherever that circle shift was, because Volnova was so well inside the previous phase. So they did kind of get caught out a little bit. The revives will come out onto Robadini, so they will be able to hold on. And of course, because Forever got knocked down, Beast has been able to revive him up, stopping NGG in their tracks.
You see, like here in this specific scenario, if they went for the rooftops, what you just called, would have been a completely different ball game for or NGG or Canada Power.
Yeah,
because they could not have been able to respond in an effective manner. And like, for example, if NGG won rooftops and you had Tixie that was just going in the open, easy shutdown, like literally the easiest shutdown you could have gone for. They did get the flush at the very end, so they do get at least one kill. They're very only kill that they got so far in this game. The Canada Power, they're going to rotate away. They don't want to overstay. They welcome. Be careful. Frost is a little bit higher up, but actually, is this the last member of Red Reserve?
No, there's
still
two
got
players
Victor
left. Yeah, you got Victor and Frost, but they are very much disengaged away from each other, which I don't like. Plus, they actually went into Volnova, which, yeah, okay, fair enough. I
went from like north to the west to the south. Is like they're just wrapping around a lot of times. We're going to see where the next circle plays, Castle. Will it go in that big boy F? Sad Maxman noises right there.
It's okay. But of course, the coastline of the west side of the river is very much in play. Volnovo is also out of contention. And guess who is inside the circle? 1218. WSK also hold onto a nice position. And Dream Eater. So two teams that are in the top two are very nicely inside the circle.
For Ballisto, a team that is not nice and comfortable in the circle. They are still with the high ground. A lot of rocks that can give them a lot of coverage at this stage. But it's unique and the real deal, at least one member of the real deal that has visibility on them. If they try and rotate, they should potentially make them out to be an easy target. I'm interested to see how Footballists will play around this, because this is definitely a really tricky spot to be in at this stage with so many teams around you. I'm hoping they can just do the right call and just wrap around instead of like just force it through.
Well, no, because Hackshaw is the last player for the real deal. Now, Footballists might not know that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But Hackshaw is the last player for the real deal, so he's not going to look to engage. Well, you know, I know he's an aggressive player, you know, so engaging, when I say engage, I mean like shoot towards Footballists and alert Footballists of his attention. But if he does it in the right way, he will make Footballists think that there's more than one player there.
Definitely a way to play around it. Unicorns of Love. Starting off so good. One chicken dinner in the third position, and they are still playing aggressive, not giving up. They want to hit those extra kill counts. They want to overtake Dream Eaters and 1-2-1 in the overall standings. And definitely how they've been playing so far, I definitely think that is at hand's reach.
Yeah. Unicorns Love, they don't want to give you up. They don't want to let you down. They sure as hell don't want to turn around and desert you, Max.
Yeah, okay. Rick Ashley, let's go. I like it. But YT, gonna be... I thought you were going to let me sing it, but I'm just disappointed that you let me join through. I learned the lyrics for you, Imperium, but you didn't let me join. I'm so sad. But okay, Victor is going to be one of the two remaining members of Red. What happened? Gets one. Can he get the second? Spread down with. He has to reload up. He has no more time to play around.
What?
Victor, what are you doing, my dude? That was so close. What the hell?
Okay, Victor, I want you to clip this moment and turn around and say that to yourself. That's exactly what Red Reserve can do. Where has that been in the first 2 days of, in the first 8 games? This is incredible stuff. Great play, keeping Red Reserve in this game. We do, of course, lose. And GG, we've lost 5. That means we're down to 14 teams, 38 players, as Phase 6 has shown up.
One going to get shut out a little bit. We have the one remaining member of Goskilla, which is actually going to be, I mean, yeah, Savage X right there, but I don't think it's going to be lasting very long. I got to say, this is easily, Cave Index, that was a nice way to kill him down. That is, so far in this regional finals, the worst rotation we saw from Goskilla. They put himself towards Castle when the circle shifting away from Castle. Not worth it whatsoever. A really bad decision making. No. It does happen. It's just one bad game. They've been consistent on their rotation so far, but like, you don't want to rotate late into Castle. It makes no sense.
Now, two teams who are well inside the circle is WSK once again in Footballists. This circle shifted down west. It went against 1-2-1 in Dream Eaters. Now, those two teams, because the circle and the phase of phase 1 was so well inside this circle here, it means that there's already teams in kind of the compounds, you know, around them, which means there's a higher chance that they couldn't go for a 2-2 split. So that means that they were stuck in terms of getting information. They're still on a bit of a 2-2 split, but they're outside the circle, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah, but teams that are in circle currently is going to be WSK, the one member Hackshaw of the real deal, and Footballists to have the edge of their compound actually in circle. They can still play around and just wait for teams to fight, because that is one of the only few compounds remaining. You can let all the other teams fight each other out and then rotate very late. That would be a situation I would be completely okay with. Now Red Reserve, they have to run out. They got no cards to rotate. They are definitely going to be struggling. Another team that's going to struggle, that's going to be Kanina Power trying to rotate through. Getting absolutely battered by Team Unique. And that's going to be why Kanina Power take 13th position on their 3rd game of the 2nd day.
And that's what you get for not disengaging from Volnovo early enough. You get caught out, my friend, as Unicorns of Love and Footballists do their best to hold on. Perks gonna get the revive on the hit on. Talon is knocked down as well, but Dream Eaters are kind of third-partying this for now. The focus from Footballists is on the attention of Dream Eaters right now. Heroes X go down. Nice knock by Lavazan onto Advocate.
Ooh, Meku, damn, that guy's so lucky every time. So it was like almost no HP as usual. I will be taking the L on that one, taking 11th. Here it is, WSK getting engaged by 1-2-1. This is a team which is scary to fight against. How will WSK respond to this? R goes down. Sprone, HMSC, and Rip. How can he connect? They've already 2 knockdowns. This is looking good. They're flushing it out. Getting every single kill they can because they know they can do it. They got themselves a chicken dinner already. Careful, that one member. It's going to be extremely low. WSK, you might want to try and commit. You want to hold your compound down. You want to control it. they're able to heal up, and 1218 still with one member, which is going to be Roach.
Plus, Red Reserve was actually somewhat third partying and stole a kill away. That's something to point out. It was actually a compound breach as 3 meters get taken down. Rest in peace, my friends. Down goes 1218. That compound breach did not work out.
And we're also going to be talking about the risk of going for Castle. Heroes X, Ghost Killer, and number 1, all the teams that went for Castle, the circle shifted away, they're now all gone, they're all dead, and that is exactly what you could expect from aiming for that, taking a gamble of Castle. It's great if it rotates in your favor, but it's extremely rare. I would never recommend you to go for Castle ever again in a competitive setting because it's very rarely going to be rewarding in this environment.
Indeed, indeed, and as the circle has shifted up the compound that WSK protected themselves against from 1218 is firmly inside the circle. Teams have wrapped around. That actually gives Hackshot, the remaining player of the real deal, a bit more space to rotate into the circle. Dream Eaters just trying to dance around the bullets fired by footballers, but footballers are not inside the circle themselves. They gotta think about when they want to rotate because it's 30 seconds on the clock before the blue zone starts closing in.
And Victor's just going to be just snaking his way on the background. Snaking is going to be, of course, a little bit harder. Hopefully, it won't get detected too easily, and teams are going to focus on the center of the circle. Yeah. But WSK, this is their game to win. The only really point of threat, I would say, from this game for them is going to be footballers who can just tumble down with their cars. They've still got a bunch under their control and push upon them. Even Team Unique could go for a similar position, but I think it'll be a lot harder for them.
No way. Max, look at the mini-map. 2 members of footballers are actually going to breach the compound held onto by WSK. It's a risky move. It's a bold move, but let's see if it pays off. Cotton, they do throw out a smoke. They got a bit of protection, but right now it's 3 against 2. They need to alert the rest of their team. They need to get that full squad in that compound. The second breach for WSK to try to protect themselves against. They do need takedown Levazin. Good stuff by WSK.
The intention was good. I said they were the only big threat point, but you know what, Dream Eaters, they're taking this opportunity in their very own hands. They want a third party. They want to take control of the WSK compound. And they're doing it grandly. They're doing it good. Nice shot back from Solke upon rip of WSK. And now WSK, I believe, down to only 1 member. The reses can still be pulled off. It's going to be damn hard, and we all know it. And Victor's just going to be just running through and like, hey, guys, wait for me, please. I want a piece of this cake.
4 teams in 1 compound. This is what I like to see. This is the aggressiveness I want to see from these European region teams in the regional finals. And Unique are going to get shut down on the outskirts of the circle, trying to close in. Footballers holding on to fantastic angles. Still is a 3-man team, but Thanos snaps Lutz into smithereens.
This should be the end of footballers pretty damn soon. Look at that Lovazin and Rob so damn low. Solke is still going to be into play, but unfortunately they haven't that rock. And Solke, he's just got to wait. He's going to be in the exact same situation as where Victor and Analyst are for Unique and Red Reserve. Now Dream Eaters, they're getting re-engaged. They only got Advocate remaining. WSK, can they reverse the steam? They were down to only 1 member, but now they got 2.
Max.
They can hold down to this.
Max, Victor just got a double knockdown onto Dream Eaters. He got a double knockdown now. He hasn't been able to confirm the kills, but from behind, he does get clapped out by Analyst. Down goes Red Reserve. Great game by them, finishing up in 6th place. But now the top 5 teams going. Dream Eaters are going to try and hold on, but Prone is going to go in. It comes out this 1v1. Prone is low on health. He does change the gun. The loadout comes in. GG36 is coming down, but Dream Eaters get taken out.
What the hell? Man, you know what? He didn't flush the kills. That means actually those 2 kills were confirmed by Victor of Red Reserve. He got 2 kills confirmed for his team. That's going to be still great. They needed to get more kills in their game. But imagine if they didn't do their little bit of a messy rotation early on. If they still had 4 members in this particular position, they would be a team that could potentially take a chicken dinner. But here we go, lost an extra 2 teams here. Down to now 3. And footballists are still in play with still 3 members. Despite I thought they would be dying so many times here, they're still alive with such a dominant amount of players. That is extremely surprising to me.
True, but you gotta give credit to the WSK, right? They've held on to this compound so much. They've really put the protection in their hands. As Throne is up on top of the roof. Rip is coming in, but he's very low in health. He dived too much. He didn't wait for his team to support him. So, okay, gonna go in. And down goes the members of WSK and footballers.